My friends, I want to ask you something before we begin. How many times has a doctor, a nutritionist, or a health article handed you a list of foods you can no longer eat? How long have you been managing your blood sugar by counting, restricting, and eliminating month after month, year after year? Because today I want to show you something that suggests all of that effort may have been missing the single most important variable, not what you eat, when you eat, and the window of time between your first meal and your last. A randomized clinical trial published in JAMA Network Open in 2023 out of the University of Illinois, Chicago, followed 75 adults with type 2 diabetes for 6 months. One group ate within an 8-hour window each day without counting a single calorie. Another group followed traditional calorie restriction, cutting 25% of their daily intake. A third group changed nothing. At the end of 6 months, the 8-hour eating window group had achieved comparable reductions in HbA1c to the calorie restriction group, and they had lost more weight without counting anything, without eliminating any food, just by watching the clock. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this works, what it is doing inside your body, and how to apply it safely if you are over 60. I am also going to be honest with you about its limitations, because this approach is not right for everyone, and you deserve to know that too. Let me start with a question that most people ask immediately when they hear this. How can the same food cause less blood sugar damage depending on when you eat it? It seems impossible. But the answer is in your biology, specifically in the relationship between your body's internal clock and the hormone that manages your blood sugar. That hormone is insulin. And here is what most people do not know about it. Insulin does not work the same way at all hours of the day. Your body's cells are significantly more sensitive to insulin in the morning and through the middle of the day. When you eat during those hours, insulin can do its job efficiently. It unlocks your cells, glucose enters, and blood sugar comes back down quickly. But as the day moves into evening and night, your cells become progressively less responsive to insulin. The same meal that your body handles comfortably at noon creates a much larger and more prolonged blood sugar spike at 8 or 9 p.m. because insulin is no longer working at full capacity. Researchers call this circadian insulin sensitivity. Your insulin sensitivity follows a daily rhythm: high in the morning, declining through the afternoon, lowest at night. This is not a disease. This is not a malfunction. This is how the human body was designed. Because for most of human history, people stopped eating at sunset and did not eat again until daylight. The body evolved to process food efficiently during daylight hours and to rest its metabolic systems at night. The problem is that modern life has extended our eating hours deep into the evening. And for people over 60, whose circadian systems are already naturally less robust, that mismatch between when we eat and when our bodies are designed to process food is one of the most significant and most overlooked drivers of high blood sugar. So how does an 8-hour eating window address this? When you confine your eating to an 8-hour window, say from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, or from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., something important happens automatically. You stop eating during the hours when insulin is least effective. You align nearly all of your food intake with the part of the day when your body is biologically best equipped to handle it. And you give your pancreas, the organ that produces insulin, a genuine rest period every single night. That rest matters more than most people realize. Think of it this way. If someone asked you to work a 15-hour shift 7 days a week for years, you would eventually struggle to keep up. Not because something is wrong with you, simply because no person was designed to work that long without rest. Your pancreas is no different. In a person eating from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., a 15-hour window, which research shows is the average in many Western countries. The pancreas is responding to food signals for 15 hours straight, day after day, year after year. In type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, the pancreas becomes gradually less capable of producing enough insulin to overcome the insulin resistance that builds over time. Every unnecessary demand placed on it during the low-efficiency evening hours adds to that cumulative strain. Compressing your eating window gives the pancreas the nightly rest it was designed to have, and the research shows it responds. A 2025 systematic review published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, analyzing multiple randomized controlled trials in type 2 diabetes patients, confirmed that time-restricted eating produces significant improvements in both fasting glucose and HbA1c. That number going down means a real sustained shift in how your body manages blood sugar, not a single day effect, a months-long change. Now, let me address what I believe is the most important question for any senior considering this. Is it safe? The honest answer is, for many seniors, yes, but with three conditions you must take seriously before you begin. The first condition is medication. If you take insulin or any blood sugar-lowering drug, including metformin, sulfonylureas, or any injectable diabetes medication, you must speak with your doctor before changing your eating window. Compressing when you eat changes when glucose enters your bloodstream. If your medication timing is not adjusted to match, you face a real risk of hypoglycemia, dangerously low blood sugar. This is not a warning to discourage you. It is a warning to protect you so you can use this approach correctly. The second condition is protein. After 65, the body needs adequate protein at every meal to prevent muscle loss, a condition called sarcopenia that becomes increasingly serious with age. Compressing your eating window does not mean eating less protein. It means being intentional about including eggs, fish, legumes, or lean meat at every meal within that window. A smaller window with the same protein is the goal. The third condition is the pace of your transition. Jumping from a 14-hour eating window directly to 8 hours is a significant change, and doing it too quickly is one of the most common reasons people abandon this approach. Start with a 12-hour window for the first 2 weeks, then move to 10 hours, then to 8. Your body adapts far better with a gradual shift, and you are far more likely to sustain it long term. With those conditions in place, here is how to set this up in a way that works with your real life. The practical question most people ask next is, which 8 hours? This matters more than most people expect. And the research is clear on the answer. The earlier your eating window, the stronger the blood sugar result. The JAMA trial used a noon to 8 p.m. window and produced meaningful improvements. But earlier windows align even more closely with peak insulin sensitivity and tend to produce stronger results. A 2018 study published in Cell Metabolism found that an early time-restricted eating window, entirely within morning and afternoon hours, improved insulin sensitivity and blood pressure even without any weight loss at all. So here is the practical guide from best to most realistic. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., this is the gold standard. If your schedule allows it, pursue it. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., excellent. Still well within your peak insulin sensitivity hours. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. still produces meaningful improvements and is realistic for most people. And if none of those are currently possible, start here tonight. Close your eating window at 7 p.m. Do not eat after 7. That one change, moving your last meal just 1 or 2 hours earlier, immediately begins shifting your food intake away from the hours when insulin is least effective. You do not have to do everything at once. You just have to start. Now, two foods I want to highlight specifically for people following a time-restricted eating window. Not because they are magic, but because each one makes the window easier to sustain and more effective while you are in it. Food number one, eggs. Eaten at your first meal of the day. Eggs are one of the most protein-dense, complete foods available. And for seniors specifically, they address the two biggest practical challenges of time-restricted eating: hunger and muscle protection. A 2020 review published in the journal Nutrients found that high-protein breakfasts, particularly those containing eggs, significantly reduced hunger and overall calorie intake later in the day. This matters because for most people, the hardest part of a compressed eating window is not the evening cutoff. It is the hunger that builds before the midpoint of the window. Starting your day with eggs substantially reduces that hunger, which makes the window easier to maintain without relying on willpower. Eggs also contain all 9 essential amino acids in proportions well suited for muscle protein synthesis, which is exactly what seniors need to protect against muscle loss within a compressed eating schedule. Food number 2, apple cider vinegar, diluted in a full glass of water, consumed 15 to 20 minutes before your largest meal. I want to be precise here because apple cider vinegar is one of the most overclaimed foods on the internet, and you deserve an honest account of what the research actually shows. A 2021 meta-analysis published in BMC Complementary Medicine and Therapies found that apple cider vinegar consumed before meals was associated with a modest but consistent reduction in postprandial blood glucose, the blood sugar spike that follows eating. The mechanism is that acetic acid, the active compound in vinegar, slows carbohydrate digestion and slightly delays gastric emptying, which spreads glucose absorption over a longer period instead of delivering it in a sharp spike. This effect is modest. It is not a replacement for medication, diet, or the eating window itself. But within an 8-hour window where you are already eating at the right times, using diluted apple cider vinegar before your main meal adds a small but genuine additional buffer on blood sugar spikes. Use 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon, always diluted in a full glass of water, never undiluted, as undiluted vinegar damages tooth enamel and can irritate the esophagus. And if you have gastroparesis, delayed stomach emptying, which is more common in seniors with long-standing diabetes, speak with your doctor first, as this effect on gastric emptying could worsen that condition. Let me bring everything together. Your insulin does not perform equally at every hour of the day. It is most effective in the morning and least effective at night. The way most seniors currently eat, grazing across 13, 14, even 15 hours, places food demands on the body during the exact hours when it is least capable of handling them. Night after night, year after year, an 8-hour eating window does not ask you to change what is on your plate. It asks you to change when that plate is in front of you. And a randomized clinical trial published in JAMA Network Open shows that this timing change alone can produce HbA1c improvements comparable to 6 months of disciplined calorie restriction. Start tonight. Close your eating window at 7 p.m. That is the only change I am asking for right now. Talk to your doctor before adjusting any medications. Make sure every meal within your window includes a solid source of protein, and move toward an earlier, narrower window gradually, because your biology, my friends, will meet you more than halfway. You have been changing what you eat for years. Tonight, for the very first time, change when you eat instead. Your body has been waiting for exactly this. My friends, leave me a comment right now. Tell me 2 things. When do you eat your first meal of the day? And when do you eat your last? I want to know your current window because your answers will shape exactly what I cover next. I read every single comment. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with something that will stay with you. We talked today about compressing your eating window to lower blood sugar. But there is one specific food, something that most seniors eat every single morning, that no matter how well-timed your window is, quietly keeps blood sugar elevated in a way the eating window alone cannot fully correct. It is not sugar. It is not white bread. It is not anything on the standard list of foods to avoid. And most doctors never bring it up because they are focused on the obvious culprits. Next video, I will show you exactly what it is, why it interferes with blood sugar in a way that is deeply connected to what happens overnight, and a simple swap that removes the problem without changing your morning routine. Make sure you are subscribed and the notification bell is on. I will see you there. Until then, my friends, take care of your body. Start tonight. Good night and God bless.